Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to From the Shelf. And you might be looking at the thumbnail and the title of this and be, scratching your heads because we said Scream 3. This is Scream 3 and Scream 4. So what happened,
Oh,
Cody?
we don't usually change it up like that. What happened? I don't know. Something along the lines. We're just like, you know what? We got to do two. I think two of them.
Yeah, said 7's on its way, and 5 and 6 are so tied together that we were like, let's do those as one video. But we didn't think Scream 4 deserved its own video, so we just lumped it in
Honestly,
with Scream 3.
yeah, I think it really is that. It's just three and four. I feel like they're going to be a little bit harder to talk about. So yeah, we were talking the other day, and just like I think these might be able to fit in one.
So we just decided Scream 3 and 4. Awesome.
There you go.
Of course, we'll talk about Scream 3 first, then we'll transition to Scream 4 because it'd be backwards to do 4 and 3. But
You sure?
I don't know. This channel decided to do Grease 2 before Grease 1, which I'm still bitter about after all these years, but whatever.
Well, weird things happen sometimes.
Yeah. So we'll start with Scream 3 because that's the right thing to do.
Tell me how you really feel.
We'll get there about Scream 3. Don't you worry. Scream 3 takes place, I want to say, 2 years after Scream 2.
I can't remember actually.
I don't know if they say no, because they say it's been 4 years since the first killing. So, whatever.
I'm okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I didn't actually pay attention to that one.
So to catch up with everybody, Sydney is now just kind of like living isolated with a dog, which that's just living far away with just me and my dog. That's like the dream right there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe without the hiding from psycho killers, but
She now works for a call center where girls, need someone to talk to. But she's going by a different name. I forgot the name she's using. Was it like Linda or something?
oh god, you're asking me things I was not thinking we were going to talk about.
Lindy,
Yes, she is
Lori, Linda, Lindy, Laura, Lanisha. I don't remember her fucking name.
it's probably Laura, but she was going by a different name though, yes.
Um, Dewey is now living with an actress in LA because the movie actually takes place in LA. And Gail is, gailing. But we'll get to her later. But the opening Scream kill, as every single one of them has, is for the first time a plot relevant character from the previous movies.
Yeah, well, they had to up the game this time. How else do you do it except for, killing somebody we know?
Yeah, so Cotton Weary and his girlfriend are the first victims of Scream 3, which, okay, that ups the stakes. I'll give the credit where credit's due there.
It looks like he actually managed to capitalize on a success or story from what happened and become successful.
100% Cotton.
Get that line, man.
He had secured a movie deal for Stab 3, which Stab 3 I guess was originally supposed to be an original story because they didn't have anything else to capitalize on.
That's so. I mean, I guess the implication is that Stab 2 was based on the events of
Scream
Scream 2, and then you're just like, yeah, let's make it original. Let's make an original movie based on this actual tragedy, which I guess has been done before.
And then you find out the killer has also upped the stakes because he now has his voice module, which I don't know. I didn't realize this technology existed in 2000, where he could perfectly mimic other people's voices.
Yeah, it's pretty precise.
I don't know where he got that from, but they needed to make Ghostface more of a super entity in this movie because of the trilogy. But I got to get this off my chest right now.
Is it Gail's new haircut?
This movie leans so hard into the meta that at a point I thought they were going to look at the camera and say, yeah, we're being directed by Wes Craven. Like, that's how heavy this movie goes into the meta, and it's almost jarring.
Yeah.
Like when they have Randy's like video, are you seeing flashbacks of the past? Like
Yeah.
Sydney, you're the main character. You can die now. And like I was like, oh, okay. So we're just and then fucking Jay and Silent Bob are in this movie.
They randomly cameoed in a few things.
Why are they in Scream?
I don't know, but they got their own cinematic universe going on behind the scenes for sure.
Does that tie? And is that canon to Scream now? Because Jay and Silent Bob are in this fucking movie.
Yes. Yes.
It's not like it's the actors; it's Jay and Silent Bob. So what the fuck?
This is real.
And I got to be real. Also, the killings in this movie are borderline boring.
Yeah, I actually was gonna say I'm probably not gonna talk about them much, but it's more so because the characters who are dying just don't matter.
No, they fucking don't. None of them, and they're all assholes.
Yeah, they're all awful. They're actors.
It's like if the Always Sunny in Philadelphia cast was a slasher movie, because these people are just the worst.
Yeah.
And then you have Bishop basically playing Harvey Weinstein, because that's who he is. And, you find out Sydney's mom was, freaky actress in Hollywood, and that's why she ended up the way she did, and...
Yay, retcons!
Yeah. I also loved Carrie Fisher's cameo.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Suddenly, a wild Carrie Fisher has appeared.
I could have been in Star Wars, but they gave the woman who slept with George Lucas. I was like, okay.
Again, with the random cameo around it, she did the same cameo in Austin Powers, which was like I think right around the same time.
Yeah, Austin Powers 1 was a year before this.
So, like, this was a thing.
Like, was Carrie Fisher just randomly cameoing? Also, Sydney plays a giant backseat for the first half of this movie. Did you notice that?
I did actually, yeah, because she was reluctant to come out of hiding, so it kind of makes sense. But maybe there was a pay cut situation as well, or so like we'll just write you out of the first half.
Why are Dewey and Gale fighting again?
I don't know that whole will they won't they thing with them, and they had it be that Gale was gone for work all the time, and it just didn't work out, and yeah, I don't know why they kept that going.
Because they're stupid. It was like they established that they still loved each other in Scream 2. Just let them be happy. What the fuck?
No, it's not allowed.
No, he's with that fucking not Gale. And then, like, I can't remember. I could never remember the actor's name, but Joe from Family Guy.
Yeah, Patrick Warburton. Yeah,
his voice does not sound like a real person.
It never does, but
he sounds like a fucking cartoon character. Like, I see him, I hear him talk, and I can't not see a cartoon character. And he kept calling Dewey like Dewdrop, and I was like, you know what? I hope you die because you're annoying me.
Yeah, no, they made him pretty awful.
And like you would think he would listen to Dewey, who has survived 2 of these slaughterings, but whatever, right? Like the guy has no experience.
Yeah, I like that they still had him have a slight limp, so like he's still healing, but not 100% yet. Hey, remember back when getting stabbed had consequences?
Yeah, and then Scream 5 and 6 came out. We'll talk about those another day.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the reason why I haven't rewatched them is that. Like the stabbings just don't matter.
I'm gonna rewatch them before 7 comes out, which is in like a week. Whether or not we talk about them is a different story, but
yeah. Yeah.
And this whole movie, like the scene where the killer has a fax machine and is like, I'll show mercy to the person with the gas.
Oh,
how did you time that? How did he time that?
Nothing about that made sense. It's funny, like it's a funny moment, but it makes no sense on any level. Like they couldn't have known.
The first 2 Scream movies, you could still buy that a lot of it was still grounded in realism. Scream 3 throws all that out the window.
Yeah, no, but that moment in particular, like you couldn't have known that they were going to grab a lighter, and honestly, with a gas concentration like that, somebody would have smelled it.
Mm-hmm. But nope. It's so stupid. This movie's stupid. And like Patrick Dempsey, the cop, he is, I think, the most obvious red herring of all the possible killers in this movie.
Yeah, they also had the actress who was playing Sydney in the movie be like.
I'll get to that in a second, because the actual killer, they almost don't really tease at all that it's him.
That is true. I think there's a thing with his phone that comes up briefly.
But you could also make the argument, well, the killer clearly has the voice module. So...
Yeah, I know. They do the same phone thing in 4 too, though. Like, where it's like, oh, no, it actually was them.
So
Ghostface is bulletproof now?
Yeah, because they're trying to make... That's another thing. The killer is now... I forgot the term that Randy used, but they need to make Ghostface more powerful, so he's got the new voice changer. He's got a bulletproof vest.
I think he said, did he say borderline supernatural?
Yes.
See, that one I
This is also the Ghostface with the highest body count, because for the first and only time in Scream history, there's only one Ghostface killer.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. I mean, again, unless, 7 comes in and retcons some things, which is very possible. But, kind of glossed over the fact that Randy made a video just in case he died.
Yeah, it's another thing, that when I mentioned earlier about the whole diving way too far into the meta bullshit.
Well, that's because this one, you can tell, especially with that Randy video and a lot of things that are said throughout the movie, it was definitely intended to be the last movie at the time.
It was.
Which is also what 7 is supposed to be, but, we'll see.
Now, Nev Campbell said 8 is in pre-production.
Oh my god. See, like, what the... Okay, whatever. This is why I never believe it.
Like, I thought 7 was the last one, and I just read yesterday that they said 8's in pre-production. Unless 7 bombs, which is not going to. It's a Scream movie.
I know, they really don't. But now, I mean, I don't... if it'll get the series to finally end, I think it's time.
It was time in 2000, but we'll get to that. So there's none of the kills are really interesting. None of the characters really fucking matter except for Dewey, Gale, and Sydney.
No surprise there.
I'm just gonna skip to the killer reveal.
Not much happens for the rest of it, so that's...
So the director of Stab 3, Roman Bridger, is the killer, who is also Sydney's half-brother, who is also the reason all of this happened, because he's the one who convinced Billy Loomis to start the killing, so we needed to have a guy behind the guy, a super boss type of thing. Why?
Yeah, no, that... Well, honestly, I do think that 7 might go down the same path, but but yeah, when Roman reveals his stupid plan, it's just like, what?
So, like, Billy's motivation wasn't enough. You needed another guy behind the scenes telling him what to do. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they felt like that was necessary.
And, like, Roman's such a fucking baby. Like, oh, my mommy rejected me. Now I'm gonna kill people. Grow the fuck up. Which Sydney almost verbatim says to him.
Yeah.
But, like, Billy, I could buy because his mom abandoned him because his dad cheated on his mom with Sydney's mom, and he was already kind of a loose cannon. Okay, fine. Stu was just a fucking idiot who followed everything Billy says because he had a fucking man crush on him. So, whatever. Mickey was already a serial killer.
I mean, you could see that in his face.
And then Mrs. Loomis just wanted revenge for her son. I could buy all those motivations. Roman's is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I think that's why, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the most disliked out of the whole franchise.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
And, like, it's one of those movies you watch it and you're like, okay, fine. But then you start deconstructing it in your brain and it annoys you.
Yeah, I mean, no, honestly, watching it, I'm not very bothered. But yeah, every time I think back to what actually happened in it, it just doesn't work. Oh, and then Roman doesn't follow the shoot in the head rule.
No.
And then Sydney doesn't. Like, did they forget about that bit? Because it's important.
Is this the only Scream movie where Sydney's the main character where she doesn't kill the killer? Because technically Dewey did.
Yeah.
But again, this movie was more about Dewey and Gale than it was about Sydney, which is fucking weird. And I don't like it. Like, it's a thing in movies that, I don't know if, I think I've talked to you about this outside of this, but it drives me crazy when they make the main character like a side character in a sequel. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Or they make a side character the main character, which I guess often happens at the same time. You talk about like Cars 2 or...
Cars 2 is the worst example of that. Oh my god.
I know you're not a fan of the franchise so much, but Jack Sparrow is not the main character of the first 3 movies. And then suddenly they make him the main character of the 4th one.
See, people say that, but In 2 and 3, he had more screen time than the other two.
Yeah, but it really wasn't his story.
No, but he's the guy people gravitated to. And Davy Jones was after him in the second movie, not anybody else. So
I don't know. I feel like I was paying more attention to Will and Elizabeth in those.
well, because Keira Knightley looks like Keira Knightley.
Okay, that's not where I was going with that, but sure. And then last thing I have to say about Scream 3, the knife throw thing, that was the fail. That was kind of funny. Like, hits Dewey wrong in the head and bounces off his head.
That was funny. Something I wanted to bring up too. In the original script, the not Sydney was actually the other killer.
Oh my god, okay. So maybe they just kept some of they probably looked back at it, they're like, this is too obvious.
So they just made it Roman, and that was it. Even though I still argue that they made Patrick Dempsey's character Kincaid, who was also the name of character in Spawn, but whatever. He was the obvious red herring. But like, are him and Sydney a thing at the end of Scream 3?
He is McDreamy. I mean, it's very possible.
Because he was at her house. And then he, decides with Decepticons, so fuck this guy.
Anyways, I think that's enough about Scream 3.
One last thing before we transition.
God, never mind.
This movie's a lot less violent. Did you notice that?
I actually didn't, but
I'm gonna use this example. In Scream 1, when Ghostface slashes Kenny's neck, pretty gory, pretty fair amount of blood. When Roman cuts Bishop's neck, it's just a little scratch.
I mean, I just compared to horror now, these are all pretty tame, so I don't think I really notice the level of tameness.
Well, I noticed, damn it. I noticed.
Good. This is why we have two perspectives.
But this is definitely, in my opinion, the low point of the Scream franchise.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I can't believe this was. I don't know behind the scenes, but the way it was written, it very much seems like there was not supposed to be one after this.
There wasn't, but Wes Craven decided to bring it back 11 years later. Or was it 10? Was it 2010 or 2011 Scream 4 came out?
Yeah, I think it was 11.
It was the early 2010s, 2010s, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, it was 11.
But switching over to Scream 4, let me get this right out of the way. I do not like how this movie looks.
Really? I think that's my favorite part about it.
Dude, the shine, the lighting in this movie throws me off.
It's much cleaner, but I do like that it's an updated look because it no longer looks like a horror movie from the 90s.
I prefer the grittier look of the first three, actually.
Yeah, I get it, but I do actually like the way 4 looks.
So, well, before we talk about the label, just like in Scream 3, Sydney has now wrote a book, and she's going back to Woodsboro to promote it, because of course she is, because we have a contrived reason for Sydney to be in Woodsboro again.
Yep, and that always goes so well.
Dewey and Gail got married, which he did propose to her in Scream 3, so, continuity.
I'm just glad that they're not doing the will they won't they thing again.
They kind of are with the fucking lieutenant that follows Dewey around, or the deputy.
Oh, yeah, but that was like he wasn't interested.
No, but she was very clearly, look at my lemon cookies.
Which I think it turns out like she doesn't even have any interest in him. It was just she looked up to him sort of thing. I don't, but it doesn't matter. The point is that doesn't matter. It was a fabricated love triangle that was irrelevant because Dewey was not interested.
The opening kill scene is fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, again, they had to up the stakes. How better to do that? God, no. And then I forgot you see some of it.
You see some of it later on a TV screen.
Yep. Yeah. So it starts with what seems like the opening kill, typical. It's like I don't recognize that. I think one of them's more famous now, but I wasn't super familiar with them.
That was just this is Stab 6.
Yeah, but then it turns out that was just an intro from Stab 6 that they put in Stab 7.
And then you have Rogue from X-Men, and what is her name? The other actress.
Kristen Bell.
Yeah, they're watching Stab 6, and then Kristen Bell stabs Rogue, and it's like, watch the fucking movie, and then, it's Stab 7.
Now, at this point, both of them were very recognizable, so that was...
Yes.
Actually, I think at the first go wasn't one of them Lucy Hale from Pretty Little Liars? Yes, yes, it was.
Probably. And then we get the actual opening kill scene, which is,
Where they where they are then sitting down and watching steps.
but that's just typical Scream opening kill scene. There's nothing fancy about it.
The scenes themselves are, yes, very typical, but the movie within a movie within a movie thing was just like, oh my god.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't have the impact that Con and Weary had in Scream 3.
But it was funny.
These are nobodies.
It was funny though. They were going extra meta. But then this one also has something weird with it. I talked to you about this before. It's like the black sheep that's never in any of the collections for some reason. I think there's a rights separation with this one because I've seen all of the other movies sold together. The discs were grouped together, digital collections where they're sold together, but then 4 is never in them, and I think the rights are somewhere else.
I don't know. Was this Miramax? Is that why?
It might have been. I know I looked the other day, but
it was a different company that made it. I know.
I forgot what it was, but yes, it was definitely a different name on this one than it was on the others.
But now in this movie, they have a thing where here's the new cast and here's the old cast. Which one are we going to focus on? The old cast. They did the right thing. Sydney, Dewey, and Gale are still the main 3.
Yes, of course. I mean, especially because it was, at this point, it is a legacy sequel.
Mm-hmm. But now you have, what's their name? Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts is in this.
Holy
Hayden
shit,
Panettiere.
is that Kyrie?
Hayden Panettiere, Emma Roberts, and others.
Those are the ones that matter.
Yeah. And then Ghostface is back and killing people. But this movie is almost like a reboot of the first one, which they talk about in the movie, ironically. Because it's back in the old town. The killers are mimicking Ghostface in the first movie.
Yep, it was deliberate.
And Sydney's here, so let's go crazy.
Exactly.
I don't buy one of them being a killer. I'll get to that in a second.
Yes, I think we have to talk about that pretty early, otherwise it's not much to say.
But the killings are a little more on the violent side in Scream 4.
They are, and also thankfully not quite as irrelevant since it is a friend group that's getting picked off.
Well, the characters that die in this one are people,
yes,
and not actors, so that helps.
Oh god, that's awful. That is awful.
Am I wrong?
No comment.
But the obvious red herring, Jill's boyfriend who won't stop pestering her. I will admit the kill where I never said I was in your closet, and then he just butchers that girl. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no,
he finds her on the bed with her intestines out. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that might actually be one of the most violent scenes in the series.
It's up there with Drew Barrymore's death at the beginning of the first one.
Yeah, that one's more shocking, just the way it plays out,
the
way it's shot.
Well, that was also the first Scream kill, so they had to show you what you were in for.
Yeah, basically. I guess I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, and I agree about one of the killers not quite working, but this is still my favorite movie in the series.
No.
Yeah. No, I just enjoy it the most. I don't know why. The whole series is pretty good for the most part, with a few exceptions.
This is toward the bottom for me.
I just feel like this one's the most well put together. It's a balance of the classic old style with the old characters, but and this is where I disagree. I thought the cinematography was better.
Yeah, I will always say the first is the best one.
But then the new ones just didn't click with me, as I've said before. Didn't hate them. Still enjoyed them, but
yeah, I think what makes this fall apart for me is the killer review.
Which I get.
I'll get to that because I know I'm not the only one in this. But for a good while I'm like, oh damn, all right, I'm going with it because this is much better than Scream 3. I'll say that with a straight face. This is a huge improvement on Scream 3. It doesn't piss me off anywhere near as much. Okay, so all right, I can't. All right, so
okay, just get it out, man.
There's this guy Charlie who has basically been like the new Randy, is what he is in this movie. Him and his little boyfriend. I know he's not actually his boyfriend. You get what I'm saying? Are like the new Randys of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been flirting with. He's been into Hayden Panettiere The whole movie, they have what? By the whole movie, I mean, they mention it once. And then, she about makes out with him. But then her and Sydney are in the basement, and, oh no, he might be the killer. He's outside, has blood on his hands, but no stab wound. Oh, but there's Ghostface. So she goes and saves him, he stabs her in the stomach. But as we've established, after Scream 3, stomach stabs don't matter, so whatever.
Yeah, we don't find out until later that she was okay, though.
The thing is about her, you don't actually see her die.
Yeah.
Like, she's still alive last time you see her. Because Charlie, stabs her. So it's like, okay, you're the killer. I can buy that. Who was the other one? And it's fucking 10-pound Emma Roberts and fucking wet and wearing boots. She's 10 pounds. That's the killer?
I mean, actually, both of them are pretty small. So the fact that they are relatively imposing throughout the movie, or, no less imposing than previous.
See, I can buy Charlie being a fucking crazy psychopath. Okay? I cannot buy little jealous brat that her cousin got all the attention, decides I'm gonna kill everyone and make myself the hero. Shut the fuck up. Ugh. I'm jealous of Sydney again. I'm gonna kill people. Shut the fuck up. Fucking brat. So you're gonna kill your own mother because Sydney is more famous than you. Fuck off.
I don't know if you've noticed, but crazy is kind of contagious in the series.
It's stupid. This motivation is stupid. And honest to God, I think Charlie killed just about everybody in this movie.
It's very possible.
Well, no. She killed Trevor.
No. I mean, like, there have been breakdowns about who was most likely to have done which killing in which instance. And
I think every Scream 4 one is almost all on Charlie.
Well, because she has to be playing the victim the whole time, or else the whole thing doesn't work.
Yeah. So then, she shoots her ex-boyfriend in the dick and then shoots him in the head.
Well, thankfully, she put him out of his misery for that one.
I mean, I'll give her credit. Like, her plan almost worked until she slipped up. I was like, is Gail okay? We both have shoulder wounds.
Yeah, that was a bad slip up.
And I thought the ending was a little long-winded. Because usually after the killer reveal, the movie's over like 5 minutes later. This one took a while.
Well, they had to change it up a bit.
Yeah, I get that, but it just took too fucking long.
But I think the plan would have, they would have figured it out at some point, especially because sorry, when she was getting wheeled away after kicking her own ass, which is a funny scene. When she was getting wheeled away to put into the ambulance, she's surrounded by press. People are taking tons of pictures of her, and she's smiling a little too obviously.
Yeah, she is.
But yeah,
then how
Jill thought she'd get away with killing Sydney in the hospital,
and then how Dewey, Gale, and the other cop can't take her down. Sorry, no. Again, unrealistic. Like, you're the trained cop. Just shoot her. It's not that. Cloud agrees with me.
He's upset. You're upset.
Yeah. I mean, do I like this more than Scream 3? Yeah, I do. But it falls apart for me at the end. It just does.
That's why I'm curious to hear what you say about 5 and 6, because they are weird for me. I think they're weird, and they're lower stakes because of the whole stabbing thing.
Yeah, the stabbing things in the, especially with that dude Chad. Oh my god! Later, review for a later day.
Yeah, that one in particular is just like, huh?
But as you said, it's your favorite of the Scream trilogy, which is a Scream series, which is a hot take because I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that.
Okay, well, it's definitely not 3. I don't care for 5 and 6. 2 is pretty good, so the only other contender it would be is 1.
I like 2 a lot more than 4. If I'm honest.
It's definitely 2, 4, and 1 at the top. There's no getting around that. Unless I go back and watch 5 and 6 and somehow I'm like, oh, never mind. Those are actually really good. But I don't see that happening. It's possible, but we'll see.
The first one's my all-time favorite slasher movie, so I just don't think anything's ever going to top that.
Yeah. No, it's very... 1's a contender, but for whatever reason, when I watched 4, I seemed to get the most enjoyment out of it. And I don't know why, because yes, the killer reveal does have issues.
Ugh.
Oh, and I just want to point out, Jill was not shot in the head. Just saying.
Well, she didn't have body armor on, so pop! And they don't say she's immortal, almost supernatural in this one. Because if that little twig was, I would have been pissed. And how come no other killer thinks to use Roman's like voice changing technology? Why does no one else think to do that?
It's a good question.
I got nothing. So
So
Cody,
does that wrap it up for you?
yeah, unless you got something else to say.
Nothing major. Um, Anthony Anderson's death was interesting.
I forgot he was in this fucking movie.
The way he gets stabbed in the head and makes it a few seconds, which is actually not unrealistic.
Fuck Bruce Willis.
Oh,
Just
right.
dies.
And there was a question at the very beginning of the movie that is, in hindsight, now very funny. About what's your favorite scary movie, Bambi?
Oh, whew.
At the time, it was just a funny joke. Now it's like, The Reckoning?
That's actually a thing. Damn the Pooniverse. We gotta get back to that someday.
Yeah, we will. But okay, I said I'd warn you ahead of time, but in the meantime, let's just do 5 and 6. We have time.
Okay, double Scream Fest.
And I do need to rewatch them because I have not seen them again. So I might go back and be like, these are actually pretty good.
So hopefully you guys don't get tired of Scream by next week.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
But all right then. Thank you guys so much for watching today. We'll be back for a very similar episode next week. So until then, have a good one. Take care.